I want to tell you a story. It begins in 2007. I'm a 33-year-old brand manager working for Nokia in London. At this point, Nokia is the biggest mobile phone company on the planet. And it's about to release its new MP3 phones. And I walk into my boss's office, and I say, I've got this brilliant idea. You know how Coca-Cola owns Christmas? Slide change, please. Do you know how Coca-Cola owns Christmas? How that over the decades they've built up this ownership of this moment in the holiday season. What if Nokia could own New Year's Eve? Think about it. It's a one time on the planet when everybody's connecting with each other. What's Nokia's brand promise? Connecting people. I've got this idea to do the world's biggest New Year's Eve party. 5 cities, 1 party, over 24 hours on New Year's Eve. And he looked at me like I was crazy. I said, I think this could be super cool. Let me go away and come back with an idea to pitch to you guys. And so 3 months later, I was standing in front of the executive board of Nokia, pitching them an idea for $30 million. $30 million for one night to throw a series of 5 consecutive parties across the planet. And these weren't small parties, by the way. This is 1 million people on Ipanema Beach. This is 1 million people in Berlin at the Brandenburg Gate. And this is with some of the biggest music superstars on the planet. The Black Eyed Peas, Rihanna, John Legend. And I'm standing there, I'm this punk kid standing in front of the board of Nokia, and to my eternal amazement, they say yes. They give me $30 million. That's the good news. The bad news is instead of giving me 18 months to plan this thing like I asked for, they said I had to do it in 6. That was the day I started chain smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. I called up the only person on the planet who'd ever actually done this. He's a guy called Sir Harvey Goldsmith. Some of you may know him. He did the Live Aid and Live 8 concerts. So I call up Harvey, and we now spend the next 6 months, the most stressful 3 or 6 months of my life I've ever had, planning this thing. It's like a giant 3-dimensional puzzle. We're trying to book artists in the right sequence, in the right order. By the way, this is a global satellite broadcast to 140 countries. This was streamed live on the internet. And so it's the most complicated thing I've ever done in my life. So fast forward to 3 days out from New Year's Eve. We're so close. We've had teams of people working around the clock. And I'm in Berlin, where we've decided to set up the Global Command Center, which is basically like just an office with the words Global Command Center taped on a door. And I get a call, and this time, this first call is from the team in Hong Kong, and the call goes something like this. Hey, Af, we've had a sea quake that's knocked out the internet cables to Hong Kong. So Hong Kong has no internet, and I know you're planning to broadcast this thing, but unless we can pay for some satellite airtime, your show isn't going to be seen by anybody. Okay, let's get some satellite airtime. Let's make it happen. 2 days out, I get a call. This time it's from the team in Rio de Janeiro. The call goes like this. Hey, Af, we're sitting in the mayor's office of Rio, and riots have broken out of the city of Rio, and there's a bunch of prisoners who escaped, and basically they're setting buses on fire in the streets. And the Black Eyed Peas would like an armored car escort to get to the beach. Can we have some money to pay for an armored car? Yes, fine, let's get an armored car escort. It is the day before New Year's Eve, and I'm now sitting in this fancy restaurant in Berlin with a bunch of sponsors. And my phone is in my pocket, and it starts to blow up with text messages from the German team. And there's nothing quite like Germans panicking, right? It's quite special. And the first text message is, please call us. The second is, please call us now. And the third message is my all-time favorite, just block caps. Danger is here. At which point I go, excuse me, I'm just going to take this phone call. And I go, what the hell is going on? Af, you're not going to believe it, but for the first time in 100 years, Berlin is being hit by a hurricane. We have 100-mile-an-hour winds, and we have to de-rig everything down this 1-mile stretch in front of the Brandenburg Gate so people don't get hit by sheets of flying equipment, and put it up again tomorrow in time for the show. Can we have some money to pay for, the rest? Yes, absolutely, let's make it happen. And I put the phone down and I go, God, you have sent me seaquakes. You have sent me riots. You have sent me hurricanes. Are you trying to tell me something? Are you trying to tell me that this was a terrible idea? And so we've managed to fix all of these problems, and the next night, I'm sitting in this control room watching this bank of TVs as the show starts to unfold. And it starts in Hong Kong in the east, goes to Berlin, goes to Mumbai, Berlin, Rio, and New York. And this is actually a picture of, this is what 1 million people on Ipanema Beach look like. I'm sitting there watching this going, what just happened? And one of my favorite moment actually is John Legend was playing at that concert, and he comes out on stage, and it's just him and a piano, and he sings one of my favorite songs, Ordinary People, and the whole crowd sings along. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty amazing. We did it. I go to sleep that night. I'm so exhausted. I haven't slept in months. I think I slept like 15 hours, and I wake up the next morning in this hotel room in Berlin. And I'm looking back at this roller coaster of 6 months. And I'm going, we did it. We bought it in on time. Nobody died. Nobody had any problems. It was on budget. It was on time. And I looked inside myself, and I should have been feeling joy, right? Or exhilaration or something like that. But do you want to know what I felt when I looked inside? I felt nothing. I didn't feel anything. In fact, as the weeks and months went past, I started to think, did I just blow $30 million of money on my ego as a marketer? I look at where Nokia is today. It's no longer the biggest mobile phone brand in the world. It's barely even an ingredient brand in Microsoft at this stage. And I think about how I could have spent that money differently. Could I have spent it in a way that helped Nokia future-proof itself? Could I have spent it in a way that actually had some societal impact as well? That was part of the journey that brought me here to speak to you today. This quest to find a more meaningful way of practicing our craft of marketing as well.